Hello, and welcome to my podcast, Ree's Being Refined by the Fires. I'm Ree, and my podcast is Ree's Being Refined by the Fires, and I'm in my fourth season, my sixth episode of Did You Know? And today, the title of my Did You Know episode is Prayer is the Invisible Connection to our invisible but ever-present God. And it was based on an article it was some mail that I got yesterday from Our Daily Bread. As you guys know, I have a subscription. And it came with the new book. This was, and it has a little story on it for the month. They usually try to get you to buy a book or give a donation for a book. And anyway, this article the title is Experience Peace Through Bold and Powerful Prayer by Katara Patton, one of Our Daily Bread's authors. And I'll read it to you guys now. Dear friend, have you been overwhelmed by your feelings? You are not alone. Throughout the Psalms, psalmists openly express the feelings of the heart with God, from anxiety and anger to gratitude and delight. The psalmist provides scriptural examples of how to authentically share raw and real feelings with God through prayer. We can draw near to God and experience the peace of His unwavering love in honesty with God, learning to pray through Psalms. Walk alongside the psalmists as they provide scriptural models of how we can come to God. Discover the freedom of sharing your heart with God and experience God's strengthening peace as you learn to open up to Him in any situation you face. Sincerely, Katara Patton, Our Daily Bread author. And I took it a bit further, the researcher in me. And I found out, I already knew this, but I found out that Psalms is 150 chapters. And I read a chapter a day along with my devotionals. I have two different devotionals that I read, and then my affirmations. But the chapter, 150 chapters, which is the longest book in the Bible. The chapters are divided into 5 books, each ending in a doxology, a song of praise. The books are divided into chapters, 5 different books. And the first book is Psalms 1 through 41. The second book is Psalms 42 through 72. The third book is Psalms 73 through 89. The fourth book is Psalms 90 through 106. And the fifth book is Psalms 107 to 150. It is a book of prayer and the acknowledgement of pain, as well as the power and praise and a fulfillment of prophecy. It was designed as a prayer book of God's people as we wait for the arrival of the great Messiah and the fulfillment of God's promise. Many of the Bible's main ideas are echoed in the Psalms: promise, hope, thankfulness, faith, sorrow for sin, and God's love and help. Help! Help! Lord, I need your help. I know I'm not Mary, but you get the gist of it. I think I'm going to order this book because honesty Learning to Pray from the Psalms, Honesty with God by Dan Schaefer. So the author of the book isn't the same as the author who writes the Our Daily Bread piece. But I have really been going through it. As you guys know, at the end of April, I was on my way from my daughter's dance practice, and I had an accident with a Lyft driver that's still in arbitration because nobody's accepting blame for it. Their attorneys are sticking to their driver's story, and my insurance company, Progressive, is sticking to my story. And the pictures that I've shown proof of that his passenger opened the door as I was already passing his car. So, but it might take up to a year. That's still up in arbitration right now. But my husband has a sickness. He's been sick lately. He's still able to go to work, but it's a major illness that he's dealing with. And it's not good either way around, but we're dealing with it. So keep us in your prayers. Our daughter is going to 8th grade, and at the school she's going to now, she's going to be on the high school campus. And we all know how high school can be. She's a good girl. So keep our family in prayers. And they keep the 9th through 12th graders separate from the 8th grade. But still, you know, it's high school. And she's a good girl. I like to keep her on the right path as long as we can. So, and then another, she'll be going back to school next week. They're having a party on the 13th, and I believe they start school on the 14th. So that's coming up right around the corner. She's also going to run track again in March next year, but all the sports teams, they're having to have their physicals, and they're doing free physicals at one of the Oshners, but she has an event, a prior engagement to Nova. They're going to find out what their placement is. So we're going to have to be at that. So she's not going to be able to make the free physicals that they give. So we've had to work that out. This morning I had to run the paperwork over to the doctor's office so it can be filled out. And then my special guest, I call myself getting ahead, and I've come down to, I kind of got off track in May because that was my cousin Kathy. Her and her husband couldn't do the interview, so I pulled my August guest to do my May. And then I had my friend Marcia. She was on, Anyway, my friend Jackie and her husband, Jake, took Kathy and Andre's place. And I need help. I've reached out to some people that God put on my mind, and one person has gotten back with me and said they can't do it. But right now I'm waiting to hear from another person that came to mind that we just happened to see in the store this past weekend while we were out and about. And I contacted him to find out if him and his wife could possibly fill in for us. But it's off track, off the rails. It's like, what is going on? Boom, boom, boom. And then next month, I make a year in September. It'll be Reeves Being Refined by the Fires podcast first anniversary. Yay! And I'd love to be able to have some products and be able to offer some things, but it takes money and resources to do that, which I have ideas. I'm plenty of ideas, but it takes money to make that happen. And I don't have extra money like that, aside from already paying my official LLC podcast bills. And I just had to pay my registered agent for renewing my LLC, in addition to doing my annual report for me. All that costs. It's like, yeah, they'll do it, but for a price. I just paid for all that. So it's like I have no money left for anything else that I'd like to do that would happen. So by all means, if you guys have any ideas, I'm up for it. Or if you're willing to volunteer because I have a lot of like t-shirt designs, but problem is I don't have the money to get t-shirts printed. I have a whole package that I'd like to give each of my special guests for the whole year. I don't have the money to buy the stuff for them. So I need help. Pray for me, please. Please. I don't want my anniversary to come around and I'm not able to. And all the guests that have come on, they've been real genuine. They're not looking for anything in return. They came on freely, voluntarily. I asked them and they volunteered to come. But and share their stories to show people that Christians aren't perfect. We all have problems. We don't get a pass because we're signed up to Jesus' team. We're over here and not over there. It's not like that. We go through stuff. We're people. We have sins and our flaws too. And we don't get a pass because of the team we're playing on. So by all means, to pray for me. I need it. We need it. So keep us in your prayers. I don't normally like to ask for prayers, but I'll pray for you. I'd like, if you have a prayer request, send it to me and we can pray for each other. There's unity in prayers. So prayer is what saved me. I believe everybody coming together and praying for the same person brought God's attention, like, oh, hold on. Another one for real? Oh, okay. Another one? Oh, okay. Another one? Oh, well, let me get down there and see. Yeah. So that's why I'm here. God saved me. And I am truly thankful that he did. I am nowhere near where I used to be, because when I first had my stroke and my heart attack, I was really bad off. I couldn't do anything. Like I told the story in my the interview I did with Joanna Aquani, the God of a Second Chance. I done had way more than second chances. I'm on my 100,000 chance. But with his mercy and grace, I'm still here doing his will, because that's what it's all about. We were created to worship and praise God for his goodness. We don't deserve anything. He gives it freely, not because we earned it or deserve it, but because he loves us that much. And he wants us to have stuff to help us do what we need to do for him, for his glory. It's not about you. It's all about the master. You're just a peon. That was one of my daddy's words, peon. Yep. Well, thank you guys for everything. And thank you for letting me share. But y'all stay blessed. And pray for me. Pray that I'm able to, things start happening in my favor, and that I'm able to celebrate the whole month. I'd like to have a whole big celebration all the way to the end of the month. And I do have my special guest. It's a real good friend, another of my good friends that I've been friends with since I was 18 and came back to Houston from San Antonio. Yeah. So I'd love for you guys to be able to tune in to that interview next month, as well as the Did You Know episode and my Reeds being refined by the fires episode. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in once again. Thank you. This is episode 6 for season 4 of my Did You Know series. Prayer is the invisible connection to our invisible but ever-present God. Thank you guys. Love you. Stay blessed.